I'm Ashton Addison from Blockwest Capital for InvestmentPitch Media and the Crypto Coin Show. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Paul Gopal, the Chief Business Officer at CollectCoin. Paul, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me today, Ashton. I'm really excited to be here and share all the news related to CollectCoin and the Monaco market.
Definitely, yeah, a lot is happening in the space. Your team is working on some great initiatives that I'm really interested to learn more about. So let's just dive straight into it. Can you please just kick it off by explaining a little bit about CollectCoin and the Monaco Marketplace, and then we can sort of dive into those details.
Of course, absolutely. So CollectCoin is the utility token, the native token for Monaco Market. And Monaco Market is a curated NFT marketplace where each NFT represents a tokenized real-world collectible. So what I mean by that is the things that we're going to be offering are sneakers, handbags, watches, sports memorabilia, entertainment memorabilia, trading cards, and even select art. You know, we've been approached by sellers that want to offer things like cars, but as you're probably aware, the car requires a lot of process, shipping, storage, and it's not yet something that we want to yet deal with. So we're really dealing with things that are more easy to explain to folks. And again, this is something where individuals can now buy these NFTs and they can redeem them if they wish to safely procure these things, knowing that they're authentic because we vault and authenticate every item prior to the mint of the NFT.
Wow, very cool. And yeah, you know, I've been looking through the NFT marketplaces as NFTs have exploded throughout 2021, and it's a lot of digital art. And I've been curious to find out, when is the next step? When are we tying this to physical items, to actual collectibles, and to old-time investors and collectors that don't really know about technology, and they don't know yet that these can all be tokenized onto the blockchain, and the transferability and accessibility can be so much better. So I'm curious, when you looked at how NFTs exploded throughout 2021 and you saw that gap in the market, how did you come to start creating the Monaco Marketplace and CollectCoin?
A lot of this has to do with trying to further adoption of crypto in general. And what I've understood is that the kinds of items that we're dealing with are typically very highly sought after by scammers. But the truth is, less than 1% of the population are these scammers. So if you can create an atmosphere where individuals can safely trade these items, then individuals will want to transact there. Furthermore, we seek to educate individuals about these items. Why should you buy this trading card? Why should you buy this handbag? Because you know, when the crypto market's correct, it's 40% correction. There are NFTs that are going to dump. They're going to go to dust. But I'll tell you what, that Rolex on your wrist, it's not going to go down. It tends to stay the same. It'll go up ever so slightly over the course of the year. And it's as good, if not better than a stable coin, because it will appreciate. You know, these are things that have heritage. They have long existing demand. These are the kinds of things that, regardless what's happening in the existing markets, whether it's stocks, it's bonds, it's crypto, these are the kinds of items that you can pour some of your portfolio into and just know that those assets are safe. And when you should so decide, if you want to liquidate, you're able to fairly easily.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, great point. And you're right about a lot of these NFTs, that especially these profile picture ones where, you know, they're just coming out, and who really knows what's backing this picture of whatever animal you're buying. But when you're buying something that has a physical product, you at least can, you know, procure that and have that item and know that it will still be worth something.
Absolutely.
And NFTs are moving so quickly as well. And I'm really excited to, especially for something like Monaco Marketplace, where you can actually, I can look at things in my house and I could tokenize that and put it into the marketplace. But
so I'd say this though, you know, when it comes to that aspect, the one thing that differs with what we're doing and a lot of other platforms that are trying to do tokenization is that we are first working as an enterprise solution. And what I mean by that is we go out and look for the right sellers. So if you have a Rolex, I would love to sell Ashton's Rolex because it's going to be so popular and your followers are going to want that. But really, what I'm going to be offering is that watch seller that has hundreds of watches, millions of dollars in inventory, and maybe they don't have the acumen to sell to crypto consumers. We handle them through the process, and using NFTs, we allow to create a path for them to sell these items to a consumer that maybe they wouldn't have otherwise gotten. And by dealing with these top tier sellers, you as a buyer know that you're getting exactly what you paid for.
Definitely. And that's a great point, Paul. And I fully understand that the marketplace is only as valuable as the products that are being sold on it. And if you can make those partnerships with some of the largest companies, it seems the largest conglomerates in the world are all jumping into NFTs and to the metaverse. So really the timing of this seems ideal.
Yeah. With the fluctuation in the markets, and look, last year, there are so many products that made individuals so much money. And maybe you don't just want that to be sitting on your computer forever and ever. Maybe you want something, so whether you decide to buy an NFT on our platform and just hold it in your wallet, you're entitled to do that. But let's just say you want the item. We're providing a safe mechanism for you to be able to buy these kinds of items that still function as an investment because we're curious about them. There is a reasonable expectation that year over year, they're going to appreciate because historically they have.
Definitely. And NFTs are still growing so quickly. Although they've exploded in the last year or two, there's still so much to go. So where exactly is your team at right now with the marketplace, with those partnerships? Where's it at?
Sure. So we've been working on this for about 1 year now. It's wild to think that it's already February 2022, but from concept to this point right now, we have we have an alpha of the marketplace that's already available. We're about 3 weeks out from a beta that we're going to open to our community to be able to join and help us test. And then we're probably, let's say about 8 weeks out, maybe 10 weeks, depending on the testing, for launching the marketplace. We've been talking to sellers all last year. The demand is fantastic. That's something where, when we really dialed in on how to explain this to sellers, how to pitch it properly, they're all on board. And it's just a measure of finding the right individuals that want to work with us, because I was a seller myself. I know what they're thinking. They want to make sales. That's what this is all about. But because of the kind of items that they're dealing with, they're also very skittish to go into some new environments, because who knows? If I don't know how this works and I'm selling something that is highly coveted, there is a risk. Maybe I can be scammed. And what we're trying to do is prevent the sellers from getting scammed, prevent the buyers from getting scammed, and just provide a safe environment. I go back to that constantly because, look, crypto, unfortunately, there are just so many scammers, and there's so many people that, they don't know yet all of the dangers. So in order to progress crypto forward, you need to have these systems in place so people can transact safely. Ultimately, we'd love to move to a more decentralized platform where sellers can come and it'd be more like eBay. You can list what you want and individuals interact, but in the beginning, so that this is a safe place and so that people buy the right things. You're going to be buying something that reasonably you can expect to appreciate. Whereas if you went on eBay, maybe you could buy one watch or another watch and you don't know what's going to happen. We teach you, we educate you so that this is what I want to buy. And even if you don't know anything about it, you can reasonably expect that this is going to appreciate in time.
Definitely. And it's so funny that perspective of, being scared of a scam or some, unknown technology is there, because it's really the same as it was in the beginning of the internet. People were like, I don't want to go on the internet. Like, I might get my credit card might get scammed. And when in reality, it's the greatest thing to ever come to the universe to connect us all, right? So it's sort of funny how that works. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, when I started selling online about 20 years ago, when I first started selling, people would mail you money orders and cash. And that's kind of like what crypto is becoming. It's a full circle. You send someone, let's say Bitcoin, and you hope and you pray that they honor their end of the bargain. But just like when people were mailing me cash, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, these people are crazy, but I honor my end of the bargain, and in turn they trust, and then things mature, payment processors come around, the whole industry matures over time. But because we are still so young, it's almost like repetition of the past. You have to create systems and so that individuals can be protected as the market matures, as the ecosystem matures, as adoption furthers. Otherwise, if all people think is crypto is a scam, I got scammed, oh, you don't want to do that because of this scam or that scam, then it's going to inhibit our ability to progress as a whole.
Definitely, yeah. And it really is less than 1% and getting smaller every year.
Absolutely.
More scammers are probably using the US dollar than any cryptocurrencies, really, if they were smart.
Yeah.
And now with the marketplace, when it comes out, what are the main digital assets and methods of transaction for the NFT marketplace? And will that also include like a community governance or like a CollectCoin having some special benefits in the marketplace?
Of course. So first and foremost, we listen to our community. What are the kinds of items that they want? Okay. And then we also take into account what are the kinds of items that they should know about. For example, a lot of our community, they're really into trading cards, and we're partnering with a seller of trading cards that has thousands, and they would like us to mint NFTs for all of them. We're not going to quite just do that right away. We're going to look through the collection, curate the right items, and then we're going to mint NFTs and tell the story related to those items. Now, in terms of how we decide, we talk to the dealers to understand, well, this is who our community is. What are the kinds of items that we think that they would want? Now talking about the CollectCoin, there are a lot of incentives by using CollectCoin on our marketplace. For example, as a seller, if you accept CollectCoin as the token that you're going to be paid with, you pay 1.5% in fees, which is way lower than anything else that exists in the marketplace. However, we understand that being a brand new token and having fairly small liquidity, that maybe you want to buy something very expensive and you need to be able to accept a large cap token. So we're also accepting BUSD and BNB because we're on the Binance. Now, over time, our objective is to raise the threshold for what CollectCoin will be required. So over time, it'll become the dominant coin of the market. Now, further, individuals that stake their CollectCoin are able to take 1/3 of all the fees that are collected on the platform. And might I add, when you transact with BUSD and BNB, the fee is 4.5%. So 1/3 of all the fees go to the individuals that have CollectCoin and stake them. And then 1/3 is kept by the Monaco market, and then 1/3 is burned. So it is deflationary. And this way, one, we provide value to the individuals that maybe you're holding CollectCoin waiting for something to come out that you want, but also allowing individuals to participate in this because it's, being a bystander to this, you see all these transactions, you want to support the project. We really want to be a project by the people, for the people, and where everybody can kind of share in this. Now, to that, ultimately what we also want to launch is an advertising model. So there'll be certain priority boxes on the platform where maybe a seller can stake their CollectCoin in an auction system, and then they would be able to feature their item there. So that also it would generate some revenue for us. It would get some individuals to buy the token. So we're trying to create as much value as possible for the token. Again, some of those things are coming down the line as we release VP. It's going to be fixed price listings, submit a best offer, auctions, and then we're going to proceed and continue to add more features. We want to build a really robust marketplace.
Amazing. I really like what you mentioned there about the community governance of the CollectCoin and getting some of the fees. I've seen this transition in NFTs moving away and moving towards people in the community, being able to contribute and getting rewarded for that as well.
Yes.
And I think there's a huge shift going on in the NFT marketplaces where those people who are holding the governance coin of the marketplace and they're helping keep the ecosystem alive, getting rewarded, I think they're going to be rewarded really handsomely.
Absolutely. And again, with a marketplace like this, you want to offer items that people want, that the community wants. You know, you need to listen to your community. They're ultimately the ones that are driving all the traction, driving the transactions. You know, when I speak to the dealers, I speak specifically about our community across all the different social platforms. Our Telegram has over 5,000 people, and they're very active. You know, these are individuals who really see the vision that we're trying to create, you know, how we're trying to, again, advance crypto adoption. That's what this is more, you know, than and creating safe atmospheres to trade these kinds of items. Because I promise you, having been a seller of these items for the last, 7-8 years, I see how the fraud risk has increased dramatically. So we're trying to make sure that we avoid these instances by being this central body in the middle of these transactions to protect everyone and just make sure that you get what you paid for. And if you decide you just want to buy this for a little bit of time and then you want to sell it later on, you're entitled to do that. It's your decision. You own the NFT.
Amazing, Paul. And so moving forward, you did mention that you're working really closely now towards the release of the marketplace, and also with CollectCoin coming out around similar time. For when the viewers want to get involved with this, like on the first day or following up, leading up to the launch, what is the best way for them to stay involved and to stay on top of these news?
So I would always recommend individuals to follow us on Twitter at CLCTCoin. Also join our Telegram, CLCTCoin as well. And, we are really, really transparent about where we are. We share updates. We have AMAs with the community every 2 or 3 weeks. And we like to show progress. This is something very important because, as an investor, especially as a bystander, you see some projects, okay, in 3 months' time, we'll do this. And then sometimes you don't hear anything and you just kind of wait. And then in the chat, when launch, and for us, it's about trying to make sure that individuals that are coming, they're not just asking when launch. They have some information about where we are in the progress so they can stay abreast. They can be part of this. And especially when it comes to opening up that beta, we want to hear some feedback from the community. What do you like? Don't you like? How can we improve? Because that's what this is all about. This is about the people. For the best possible marketplace, it's going to look phenomenal. It's going to have excellent items on there, and it's going to be a really safe place to transact.
Amazing. I really like the position and the way that you're moving forward with this, Paul. I'm looking forward to seeing the launch, and I'm going to go into the communities myself and check it out as well beforehand, because it does sound really promising. I will leave the CollectCoin Twitter and the Telegram and the links that you mentioned as well in the description box below for the viewers. I appreciate you coming on in this busy time with your team to talk about this, and let's follow up in the near future.
Absolutely. So everyone, take a look at collectco.in, read some more information, take a look at our white paper, understand what it is that we're trying to achieve. And again, you have any questions, go to our Telegram. You'll often find me in there. So you can ask questions. We have a phenomenal mod crew. And if nothing else, come for the memes. We have some phenomenal memes.
Amazing. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Ashton.